Welcome back to For Your Heart and Home. Today's episode is a little different and a little special because we're bringing our Pantry Staple series to a close by spending a full, ordinary day in the kitchen. From the morning bread to afternoon baking to a warm, comforting dinner. Everything you'll see today is built from the same quiet foundation we've been talking about all series long. Dependable pantry staples used with intention. There is something deeply reassuring about knowing you can walk into your kitchen and create what your home needs from what you already have on the shelf. So let's begin at the start of the day. This morning begins with hard white wheat going into the mill. Hard white wheat is one of the most versatile grains you can keep in the pantry. It produces a soft but sturdy flour that works beautifully for everyday sandwich bread, the kind that gets used all week long. As the grain mills, the kitchen fills with that warm, fresh fragrance that only comes from freshly ground flour. It's one of those small rhythms that quietly anchors the day. Once the flour is ready, I am adding the ingredients to the bread machine to make 2 sandwich loaves. Nothing complicated here, just dependable ingredients doing their steady work. The bread machine allows this to happen in the background while the rest of the day moves forward, which is one of the simplest ways to keep fresh bread in regular rotation. Next, I'm switching to soft white wheat for something a little more tender, carob chip muffins. Remember, the rule of thumb is when you're making anything with baking soda or baking powder, you want to use soft wheat. If you're going to be making something with yeast, then you want to reach for a hard wheat. Soft white wheat is ideal for muffins, cakes, and softer baked goods. It mills into a finer, lighter flour that gives baked goods that tender crumb you're looking for. These muffins come together with simple pantry ingredients: freshly milled flour, carob chips, and the basics most of us already have on hand. Remember, we're staying away from chocolate for the next few months, and carob chips are a great substitute. They provide the same texture and slightly similar flavor to chocolate, but they do not give you that sugar rush or caffeine high that sometimes come from chocolate. As these muffins bake, the kitchen starts to carry that familiar, comforting sweetness. This is one of the gifts of pantry baking, being able to create something fresh and homemade without needing a special trip to the store. As the day moves along, it's time to turn toward dinner. Tonight, we're making Jamaican-style curry chicken served over basmati rice, a meal that is both deeply flavorful and very practical for the home kitchen. This dish is a beautiful reminder that pantry cooking doesn't have to be plain. With the right spices and a little time, simple ingredients can become something rich and deeply satisfying. After breaking down my chicken and washing and cleaning it, I'm starting by seasoning and browning the chicken, building that first layer of flavor in the pot. I of course pulled for my Jamaican green sauce for this, and then I added a few other ingredients. Then come the aromatics. Onion, you can put garlic, other warm curry spices. They are allowed to bloom gently so the flavors deepen and develop. The chicken simmers slowly, soaking up that rich, savory seasoning. Meals like this reward patience. They don't require constant attention, just a steady, gentle simmer while the rest of the evening unfolds. Now I know this is not on screen, but alongside this curry, I will be preparing some basmati rice. Rice is also a very dependable pantry staple across many cultures. It stores beautifully, stretches meals easily, and provides that comforting base that makes a dish feel complete. Cooked simply and fluffed gently, it's the perfect companion to the richly seasoned chicken. I had a little extra time in the kitchen today, so as the dinner finishes, I'm going to return to the mill one more time, this time again for some soft white wheat. Tonight's dessert is a batch of carob chip cookies. There's something especially comforting about ending the day with cookies baking in the oven. It signals that work is winding down and the home is settling for the evening. The dough comes together quickly with familiar pantry ingredients, and soon the oven is doing its work once again. A very important tip if you're making cookies is to give it some chill time. So I pull this dough together and then I put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to let it chill. Then I pulled it from the refrigerator and scooped it onto my cookie sheet. Warm cookies fresh from the oven are one of the simplest ways to make an ordinary day feel just a little more special. And I know I'm using carob chips for this, and I love that they are a one-to-one swap with chocolate chips. So if you have a chocolate chip cookie recipe that you already love, you can simply swap out the chocolate chip ingredient for the carob chips. Again, these are not chocolate chips, so do not expect the chocolate flavor, but they are still warm and comforting. So as this Pantry Staple series comes to a close, what stands out most is how much can come from ingredients that are often overlooked. Wheat berries, or you might be using all-purpose flour, rice, simple spices, carob chips or chocolate chips, and just everyday chicken. When we keep our pantry stocked thoughtfully and learn to use what we have well, the kitchen becomes a place of steadiness rather than stress. This way of cooking isn't about perfection. It's about rhythm, resourcefulness, and quietly caring for the people gathered around our tables. Thank you for walking through this Pantry Staple series with me here in the kitchen. If this series has encouraged you to look at your pantry a little differently, then it has done exactly what I hoped it would do. There is so much good food that can come from simple shelves and willing hands. Remember, if you're interested in stocking your pantry, if you have questions about what are some pantry staples that you should be keeping in your pantry, feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section down below. In the description box, feel free to use my Azure Standard link if you would like to check out Azure Standard. It's a wonderful place if you would like to stock your pantry with affordable, high-quality products that are often organic. As stated before, I depend on a few places to stock my pantry on a monthly basis. I use Azure Standard, BJ's Wholesale Club, my local grocery store for any international items that I would like to find, as well as a health food store. If you have questions about anything, feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section down below. Until next time, keep using what you have, keep cooking with intention, and keep building a home that nourishes both heart and body.